Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type does carry significant risk. This type of trading should only be undertaken with funds that you can afford to lose, i.e. risk capital. All right. Less than 2 minutes to open. We have a possible short. That would be a get in sync on the YM. And we have a get in sync short also on soybeans, potentially. And we will come back to crude and unleaded shortly. All right. Less than a minute to go. About 30 seconds. "20 seconds, 15. Please do say hello in the chat. All right. YM is in a long trade. Yellow trade setting up off of the 50 EMA. And a potential stop and reverse. Actually, it looks like it did stop and reverse. Entry at 39, so that would be at stop and reverse at 37, and it got to 36, so, and full stop out. And now we have a new long trade at 963. Not triggered yet. And a new short at 946. And that triggers short. And picks up target 1. So we pick up the long, stop and reverse to short for a full stop out. And we pick up the short for target 1 and target 2 now. Stop at 936 now. And target 3 achieved. Soybeans bouncing immediately up and to the stop on the short, but that's much too fast to have been able to trade it. So we're waiting for our first setup on soybeans. YM still with the stop at 936. And the first Russell trade is too fast to catch. 3 seconds, and it's way down here. Second trade, definitely plenty of time to get into it. And it looks like we hit target for money management, and that's a break-even trade. So that trade is done. And the YM does stop out. Target one of 23 ticks. And stopping out for 46 to 10 ticks on the trailer. 33 ticks. Still going to need another trade to get positive. Initial trade was 47 to 68. 21, 42 ticks loss. I'm sorry. No, we weren't in that one. This is our first one. So it goes from 66 to 37. 29, 38 ticks on the loss. All right. Soybeans and YM are both still flat. Russell is still flat. And good morning, Miles, Pamela, Trader Man. It's kind of slow movement right now. Let's go back and take a look at crude. Our first trade is a yellow short. Actually, our first trade is a blue long here, 9006. Plenty of time to get in that one. And unfortunately, that one goes immediately to a full stop. 18 tick risk, 36 tick loss on 2 positions. Then we pick up a new short at 9084. And that one has a slow bar and should have been in. You know, it stuck around the entry long enough to get into, unfortunately. And that goes also for a full stop. That meets the 2-stop limit on our trade plan. If you go for the third trade, it actually gets a win. That one lost 56 and 36 and 92 ticks lost on the first 2 trades. We pick up target 1 and target 2 on that third trade, picking up 49. So it gets us to, keeps us at 43 tick net loss for the session. And we'll see where we go at 10 o'clock. Soybeans and the YM still flat. And the Russell's still flat. All right, we've got a 830 long set up on the pound Aussie. That triggers and goes target 1, target 2, target 3, and closing in on target 4 now. That's going to be a one and done trade, obviously. 17, 26, and 35 pips on the first 3 targets. So 43, 78 pips so far. Looking at a 45 pip target 4 and the trailer at 76.99. $71.19 is our target. We got as high, and there we just hit it for sure. So I said 78. $83, 123 on the targets, and we're still trailing at 77.03 currently. So a nice trade this morning on the pound Aussie. '07 for the pound Aussie stop now. Our entry was at 76.74. So we've got 33. 33 pips on the trailer on top of 123 already in the bank on targets. Nice morning start. For the pound Aussie. So while we're waiting for other trades, let's look at unleaded gas. And unleaded looking a lot like crude. Picks up a short for a 52 tick risk, 104 tick loss. A long for a target 1 and a trailer. So target 1 picks up 52. That's half of your first trade loss. Trailer is at 67.23 from the entry at 04. So 19 ticks on the trailer and 52 gives you 71, leaving you down 35. Second trade is another long. That, and actually target 2 traders pick up 38, leaving you down 66. Yeah, 66 ticks. Trade number 3. Nothing new elsewhere. Trade number 3 is at 67.63. These are all, by the way, the trades off the blue SMA. Diamond level trades, but certainly valid. And you've got a strong up move, and it's just bouncing off the 20 and giving us long trades. Not extending far. Target 1's the place to be trading today, apparently. So 67.63, we get a target 1 of 40 ticks. That's going to put us positive. Target 1 traders will be POQ on this trade. That's 7 ticks positive with plus whatever we get on the trailer, which is 1 tick. So we pick up 8 ticks on the 3 trades. Not a big winning day, obviously. And we only pick up 2 more for target 2 traders. Only picking up our 1 tick break even. So up 40 ticks there. Still down 64. So target 2 traders pick up trade number 4. Another SMA long trade that goes for target 1, which we aren't interested in. This will be only for target 2 traders. We get a trailing stop out at 68.37 from the entry at 68.16. So that's 54, and we're down 10 ticks. Okay, and now it looks like we're going to have some noise here. Trade number 5. And trade number 5 and trade number 6 are going to be losers. So we're going to end up with a negative session. Trade number 5 is a short from 68.34. Stops and reverses at 8.86. From 8.34, that would be 52. And there goes our 104 back again. And that, unfortunately, from 86, stops and reverses. It's a stop and reverse exit would be at 8.34. So that's another 108 ticks. So unfortunately, those last two trades really hurt us. Losing 212 ticks on those last two trades. So down 202 trades on the session, or 202 ticks on the session. This trade 7 looks like there we finally get a target 2 and a nice trailer down almost to target 2. And that would have cut half of the loss, looks like. And a possible short on soybeans. $45.25. And our pound Aussie trade, $7.18 for the stop, just below the 200 EMA, and price is testing the 200 now. So we'll see if we can survive this and for another up move or not. And good morning, Arizona Bob. All right, just over 10 minutes to our 10 a.m. crude session. And the pound Aussie did stop out at 77.18 from 76.74, 126, 140, 144 ticks on the trailer. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, not that many. Yeah, that was 100 tick. That says target 4 is only 45 ticks. Something doesn't ring right here. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 77.18 and 76.74. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. That's, yeah, 44 ticks. On the trailer, on top of 123 is 167 ticks or pips on the morning. Nice job on the pound Aussie. All right, so let's go on to micro NQ. Moving slowly, it looks like. Our start time is right in there. We have a full stop on the short, and we appear to be 8 seconds on the first bar, so it should be in the long. And that is where we are currently on trade number 2 on the micro NQ. And the YM picking up a short trade. 974. Soybeans. Did that actually? Yeah, that actually triggered on the touch. 38-second bar, but just barely touched the entry. I'd have to break that one down to see if we could have gotten into that. And now stopping and reversing back to long on. So that stops and reverses at 993. Target 1 and target 2. Yeah, it was just a 13 tick target 1. I would certainly take it to target 2 on that one. Small trade. So 19 ticks, just 19 ticks to target 2. Oh, but we were already one and done. No, or were we? Oh, that's right. We got in sync with this one, didn't we? No, we didn't. But we did get into the long. Stopped and reversed to short here. And no, the long looks like it was too quick to trade as well. So we take a full stop on the, only 10 seconds on that one. So that one looks like it was too fast. Long didn't trade, so yeah. Single trade to targets 1, 2, and 3. That's a POQ right there. Those first two trades were too fast to deal with for the long and the short. So we will bid those two trades goodbye. And we have a winning trade on the MNQ, target 2 and target 3, trailing to 64.50 from an entry at 37.75. And no new trades on the Russell. Slow move this morning. Today is U.S. Election Day. Midterm elections nationally, number of governor's races, and other local, state and local elections. If you haven't already gotten out, please do get out and vote. Elections are important to our government process. To making sure that our government is truly representing the people. And the MNQ taking heat, getting within about a 1.5 of the stop, but not hitting it. All right. Getting close to. So that is a valid long trade for get in sync at the moment on the crude oil for our session starting in about 2.5 minutes. and stopping out on that crude trade stops out, so the system is flat, waiting for our start time now. Looking for 10 o'clock. Yeah, missing our stop by 2 ticks on the MNQ. Russell with a short trade, definitely in that. Less than a minute to go. And there is our start time, 10 a.m. Looking for MNQ did stop out, ultimately at 64.50, and now in a short trade at 55.75. Lots of time to get into that one too. So 1 loss, 1 win in our second trade. The Russell's still in the short trade. The MNQ also in a short. The Russell's stopping out. I didn't see how quickly that touched the long entry and pulled back. But that looks to me like a case of an avoided trade, spiking to the entry and pulling back to the stop. Then meandering about. Loss number 2 on the micro NQ as well. And there is a long setup on the micro NQ. Plenty of time to get in. Squeeze zone trade filtered out on crude. And soybeans is definitely in the short trade now. It's come back down to the entry. Soybeans definitely short. Early movement, but nothing that we could trade. on soybeans. They have and that's a full, that's loss number 3 on the micro NQ. So we have 1 win and 3 losses, and that ends that session. Still no trades on crude for the 10 a.m. session. We have a potential short on the Russell. We have a potential short setup on this bar on the MNQ. And there's a short on the MNQ as well. Triggering in 49.75 to my eye. Yeah, 49.75. The Russell trade does trigger in. And soybeans stops and reverses to long. That's a mess. Okay, 47.75, so we'll go to 48.25. Which it just hit again. So that's going to push our money management to 49.75, a couple of ticks beyond where it was because of our stop and reverse adjustment. This is a minimal trade. First actionable target is target 2 for 8 ticks. We went from 45.25 to 48.25. 12 ticks times 4 positions, down 48. Got some work to do on soybeans now. And we take another loss on the Russell. That should end that session as well. That was 2 losses right there. And I believe we had a loss. Did we have a loss earlier? No, that one was. Yeah, that one was the too fast. So then we had a break even. 1, 2 losses. And so now we're in the long. MNQ is done. Crude without a trade yet. And now a short trade on crude, 91.24. That's one of those quarter centuries. And money management is just above that prior swing low. And we've got one spike just to the left. at 22. And we just spiked to 22 again. If you aren't already in that, I would probably... I'd probably push it down to 21. I don't think I'd try to get around the key level. That's just too big an adjustment. So there we go. That's where I would have my entry if I'd been looking at the chart carefully. And there is loss number 3 on the Russell. That's a loss here. That one was avoidable. This looks to be a loss. And that is a loss. So looks like we're all done except for crude now. Crude and soybeans. Soybeans getting through. So 2 positions at target 2 and 1 at target 3. That's 2 8s is 16 and a 12 is 28. Still down 20 ticks. Stop at 48.50 because of our stop and reverse adjustment. And definitely in the short on crude, even with the adjustment. And the YM noisy as well. Nobody taking over right now on election day. It's wait and see. And will crude go lower or will it come back up and bounce from here? It looks like a little push lower here. And target 1, so that'll be a one and done session. Target 1 picking up 18 ticks. Less our 3, so 15. And 23 for the current stop. Actually, that would come down to 20. I'd have it at 21, just dead break even. Yes, Trader Man asking about the quarter century numbers, especially in crude, the 25, 50, 75, 0, 25, 50, and 75 levels tend to be kind of sticky. Price often has a tough time going through those. So they definitely will act as resistance going up through or support going down. And there is a stop and reverse to long at 21 or 22. We stopped out at 21 and are done for the session. Those are basically key levels that we kind of watch out for. Which is why, when I had the swing level back here down to 22 and it had pulled back up and just barely came down through again, I definitely was set up a trade at 24. I would like a little bit more clearance on that, which is why I said bring it down to 21, get a tick beyond that swing low. And it ultimately went to target 1 and came back and stopped us out at break even on the trailer. All right, folks. Slow as everything seemed to be moving, everything is done. Any questions? Questions, comments, discussion? Yeah, good thing we would have stepped aside there. The long stops and reverses to short and just back and forth action. The short pulling back, maybe going up. We'll see. Now that stop at 26 is sitting right on the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. I would push that up to 28 if you were going to take that short trade. This stop right here, push it up a couple of ticks, get away from those moving averages because you got two of them bunched together there. That's likely to create at least some resistance to pushing up through that. You're most welcome, Pamela. You have a good afternoon over in Britain. And everybody in here that's in here from the U.S., get out and vote. Okay, Trader Man, I assume that you have a question there. Depends on what the target. My target in Spotlight is target 1. Our money management level is actually usually a couple of ticks before target 1. Like in this case, in the case of the short that we're in now. See, we had the entry was at 91.07. that would have been pushed down to 91.04 because it was a stop and reverse. And it looks like we just barely ticked into it and then took a full stop out. That one's unfortunate. But we also would go require 10 ticks to money management. So we would go to 94. In that case, we'd be beyond target one. But no, depends if now in counterpunch, if you're already by the time you get to your normal target level, your objective target level, target one is your money management typically on counterpunch. If you get within one tick, I'll basically look at price action around it to see if there's a reason that I would be worried about it coming back through and going the other way. Okay, yeah. If you get within one tick of target one specifically, that's one of those art of trading things. Personally, I'll look at what price action is doing and see if there's an indication that it might very well come back through, or if it's just kind of in a back and forth like that. But seems to be slightly trending, I'll probably leave it alone. If it's just kind of going sideways, yeah, I'll probably pull it back to break even and step aside. Or if there's some other indication, if it's bouncing off of one of the major key levels like the 50 to 200, or like a 00 or 50, something like that. If it's bouncing off of that and you get within one tick of target one, yeah, I probably would bring the stop up and be content to get out of the trade at break even and not risk anything more on it, not risk it reversing on me. But there again, that's something you learn with practice. What's going to be the best way for you? But that's one of those areas that really is that 5% art. Look at what price action is telling you is likely to happen. If it's bouncing hard off of something, it's very likely to come back to zero. The question is it does the other price action tell you that it's probably going to come up, but probably not all the way to the stop and then trend back down? Or is that just a point of reversal? So it's a tough call a lot of times. But basically you want to get consistent with a particular structure to the trade, and when the charts look a particular way, do the same thing every time they look that way when it does that. Yeah, and the ES is another one that, because of course you're not trading to target one, but yeah, especially the second time it did that, I would have gone ahead and moved my stop. The second time it gets within one tick of your money management level and pulls back, I'm going to move the stop, because that's effectively a 1, 2, 3 bottom or top, or so you double top, double bottom, even if it's kind of in the middle of things. And so I would definitely be wary of that one reversing. With the second time it came within one tick of a money management level. and reversed at that level. So depending on how hard it reverses, that may also tell you a lot. But the one of the difficulties with the ES, because it is so heavily traded, you usually have to trade through your price level to get filled. And because it's a quarter point tick and $12.50 a point, or I'm sorry, $12.50 a tick, it can get rather expensive to figure out what to do when you don't get filled. When it comes to your target level and you don't get filled, do you mark it out? Take and then you take a $12.50 to $25 hit for the spread or what have you, or do you leave it on, try to go ahead and trade through and get your target? That's one of Troy's major difficulties with the ES, is because it's fairly each tick is fairly expensive, and because it's a quarter point tick market. Now, are you trading to target one, Trader Man? As in counterpunch, normally, unless you're using some sort of a scalp strategy, normally our objective target is target 2. But yeah, if your objective target is target 1, okay. Yeah, if you have an objective at target 1 and you come within one tick twice, yeah, I would probably try to close that order. I would just try to close that one order out, and I would bring my money management, or bring my trailing stop to break even +1. Yes, but yeah, if you have an order there, I definitely would do that. At the very minimum, I would bring my trailing stop to break even and let it, if you're going to let it stay in place. Oh, and I'm not saying you aren't successful at each of the targets, but when you're looking at a particular trade, what do you do with if you're happy with waiting for it to fill at the target? Fine, but protect yourself from taking it. If you're trading 4 positions, at least you're taking at least 3 positions, then yes, I certainly would bring your trailing stop to break even. And if you're happy with the results that you're getting with the targets on ES, that's fine. But I'm just bringing up some of the issues that Troy has run into. I've never really traded the ES to speak of, basically for the reasons that he put forward. That there are other markets that, while they're not quite as liquid, they're not. They're also not as much as problematic for when you hit a target level. They're more likely to fill when a target is touched rather than having to trade through. Does that help with your decision making process? That's one of the major reasons that you don't see us using ES in the room very much because of just that. That's Troy has never really liked trading the ES for those reasons. And another thing that the quarter point tick markets do is they completely take you out of any realistic usage of key levels, because with quarter point tick markets, and especially the ES being as large a tick value as it is, making those adjustments is expensive. Crude is actually very close to as expensive, but you also have it. Crude honors those key levels quite a bit on quite a bit more regular basis than the ES does, because it's a 1 penny market rather than a quarter point. All right, good discussion though. Good question. Any other questions or comments? All right, we've been here an hour. Not anything new to trade. Okay. I'm glad to answer questions, but just sitting around and watching the charts move is not what we're here for. None of us are going to learn a whole lot doing that. You're quite welcome, Miles. We will see you tomorrow. Normal Wednesday tomorrow at 9:30 regular session. We'll shut that down about 10:15 and come back at 10:30 for the crude oil inventory report. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. All you US-based traders, get out there and vote if you haven't already.